To complete the square in a given expression, we all know that we can solve any quadratic equation by the use of completing the square. But in an expression of the form x squared plus bx, we can't just think of a number that is applicable for our third term. Now, to make this expression a perfect square, trinomial, we need to get the half of the middle leading coefficient, which is yung b. So get the half of the middle leading coefficient. We have b over 2, and then get the square of that term. Okay, so that is how we complete this expression. So to get the perfect square trinomial. Okay, so let's just follow the three simple steps. For the first step is get the c value, so which is the third term. To get that, you can use this formula, b over 2 squared. For the next step, we have to complete the form or the square. For the third step or the last step, we need to get the factored form of a given expression. So the factored form will be like this. This is the pattern, x plus b over 2 quantity squared. So that is the factored form. Now, for first example, we have this expression x squared plus 14x, and then we have this blank. Okay, so three simple steps. First, you must have get the third term para makuha natin yon. So meron tayo ditong first step na c value. Our b or the second leading coefficient is 14. Get the half of 14 and then square the term. Okay, so 14 divided by 2 is 7. Then we have squared. And this number is 49. Okay? Now, nakuha na natin yung third term natin. Now, we must have to complete the square. Okay? That is our second step. So, to complete the square, let me write this expression, x squared plus 14x, and yung 49, ilalagay na natin siya dito. Okay? So, we already completed the square. For the third step and the last step, we need to get the factored form of this expression. Once again, the reason why kung bakit natin in-apply itong first step natin is to make the expression a perfect square trinomial. Okay, naniniwala ako na itong expression na to ay perfect square trinomial. So we can apply this pattern, no? So we have x plus b. So yung b natin, once again, yung ating second leading coefficient, which is yung 14 over 2, and then quantity squared. We must simplify this number. Then we have x plus 7 quantity squared. Okay, so this is the factored form and this is the C value or the third term. Okay? So we already done sa ating first example. So ang kailangan nyo lang gawin dito, kailangan nyo lang i-apply itong tatlong steps na to. Okay? Para makuha nyo yung factored form, o kaya naman pag hinahanap yung pangatlong term, you can use this first step. Okay? So that is the first example. Try another example. We have x squared minus 5x, and then we have this blank. Okay? The first step is to get the third term. Then we have the second leading coefficient na negative 5. So we have negative 5 over 2 raised to 2. Okay? So let us simplify this number with this square. Negative 5 squared, that is positive 25. 2 squared, that is 4. Okay? So now, we already get the third term natin. To complete the form of this expression, we have x squared minus 5x plus 25 over 4. And for our last step, to get the factored form of this perfect trinomial square, then we have x plus, since negative 5 here, maglagay muna ako dito ng parenthesis, over 2, then quantity squared. Okay? So, distribute the sign. Magbabago ang ating sign dito. So, then we have x minus 5 over 2 raised to 2. And now this is the factored form of the given expression. And this is the third term for our given expression. So that is the second example. So for our third and final given, we have this expression 2n squared plus 4n. Then we have the missing term. So, anong napansin natin sa given natin ngayon doon sa given natin nung una? Okay? So, as you can see, dito, yung naging first leading coefficient ay naging more than 1. Okay? So, paano yung gagawin natin dyan? Huh? Ang goal is kailangan maging 1 ang ating first leading coefficient. So, how to do that? So, simple lang. We can just divide this expression, okay, yung buong expression sa 2. Okay, bakit 2? Dahil 2 ang ating first leading coefficient. Kung 3 yan, 3 yung i-divide mo dito. Kung 4 yan, 4 yung i-divide mo dito. So, depende yan sa kung ano yung first leading coefficient natin. Okay, so now as we continue, so 2n squared divided by 2, that is n squared. Okay, so nawala si 2. And for the next term, for n divided by 2, that is 2n only. And then, meron pa rin tayo ditong missing term. Okay, so okay na. Ang a natin dito ay 1 na. So we can apply the 3 simple steps. Okay, for the first step, kunin muna natin yung pangatlong term. So we have c equals p over 2 quantity squared. Okay? So yung b natin dito is 2. Then kinuha natin yung kalahati niyan, yung square natin. Okay? Then if we simplify this, we have 1 squared At alam naman natin na 1 ang lalabas dyan. Okay, nakuha na natin ang ating completed squares. So meron tayo ditong n squared plus 2n plus 1. Okay, so now let's move on to our last and final step. Okay, so for our final step, we get the factored form. No? Kung kanina x yung ginagamit natin, pero dito n na ang ating variable. Okay, so mangyayari dyan, it will become n plus, ganun pa rin, b over 2. We have 2 over 2 quantity squared. To simplify, the numbers inside the parentheses, we have n plus 1 quantity squared. Okay, and this is the factored form of the given expression. Kahit na missing ang ating given expression, nagawa nating hanapin yung third term sa pamamagitan ng formula na b over 2 quantity squared. And nakuha natin yung completed squares ng ating expression. Okay? And then, makuha ng ating factored form. Okay? Kasi pag nakuha ang factored form niyan, madali na lang natin mahahanap yung n value or yung solution. Okay? For the next lesson, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano naman mag-solve ng quadratic equation sa pamamagitan ng completing the square. Okay? So, doon, may apply natin yung mga bagay na natutunan natin sa mga previous lessons natin. Okay? This is the completing the square with expression. Okay? So, just remember lang yung 3 basic steps natin. Okay? See you sa next lesson.